This is the Panasonic Lumix GH6, and after using it for over a year on a daily basis, here are my thoughts, what I think about this camera. As always, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like. Also share this video to anyone that might be interested in buying a new camera. But with all that being said, let's get right into it. If you are thinking about buying this camera in 2024, I think this is a perfect time to get your hands on one, especially because now you can get this GH6 for around $1,200, and for that amount, I think it's definitely worth it. Considering that the GH6 body is a bit bigger than its previous predecessor, the GH5, it still feels nice in the hand, and in my opinion, it feels a bit more comfortable when holding the camera for a long period of time. One thing I really like about the GH6 would have to be the incredible 3-inch LCD screen. It's definitely one of the best screens I've ever used on any camera. So it's a flip out and it's fully articulating. So overall, it's nice, and it's also very bright when filming outdoors. Also, not to mention, the LCD screen doesn't interfere when, for example, having the HDMI cable or the microphone plugged into the camera. Now let's talk specs, because this is probably the most exciting thing about the GH6, and really that's the main reason why I'm shooting on it and why I got it, is because the specs on this camera are mind-blowing, especially for a camera that only costs $2,200. As we all know, Panasonic has been killing it on their GH series cameras. They've always been ahead of their game and their competition, and a perfect example to this was the GH4. When the GH4 came out, it was revolutionary and it just changed the filmmaker's point of view, and it was one of the most affordable camera that offered 4K and a ton of other pro level features that you only find on higher end cameras that cost thousands of dollars. And with the new GH6, they also brought a lot of great features that are rare to find on cameras at a similar price point. The Panasonic Lumix GH6 has a 25 megapixel micro four thirds CMOS sensor and can record video in Cinema 4K, Ultra HD up to 120 frames per second and up to 300 frames per second in 1080p, and a maximum video quality of 5.7K up to 60 frames per second, all in a 10-bit color space for gridding the footage in post. Overall, the GH6 has amazing colors no matter what format you shoot in. The GH6 features dual card slots. One is a CF Express Type B card, which can be used to record at the highest resolution such as 5.7K 60, and the other slot is for an SD card, which can be used to record lower video quality such as 4K or HD. The GH6 has a few resolutions that will allow you to capture the entire 4x3 sensor in up to 6K. This is great for anamorphic lenses. Overall, the footage that you get out of this camera looks absolutely amazing. It's sharp with great details, and the color science is also amazing. It's clear that this camera is made for professionals who want a compact running gun camera that can capture high quality video. The GH6 provides 12 plus stops of dynamic range, but it has a pretty cool feature called DR boost mode, which gives you an extra stop of dynamic range. So you are technically getting 13 plus stops of dynamic range with this camera. So it makes sense to always have DR boost mode on, especially when shooting outdoors on a bright day, to capture the highest details possible. You will also need a strong ND filter because the base ISO is 2000 when shooting in vlog and having DR boost mode on. One thing I really like about this camera is the ability to be able to shoot in ProRes 4:2 HQ format internal without any external monitor, which makes it ideal for a smooth edit workflow. Apart from all the amazing video resolutions and codecs, this camera offers another thing that I really enjoy, and that is the IBIS, the in-body image stabilization. For me, this is ideal because I often shoot handheld with lenses that don't have any image stabilization, so having one of the best IBIS on the camera makes your handheld shots buttery smooth, and it's almost like you're on a gimbal. Alright guys, so just the other day I went out to shoot some wildlife videography with the GH6, and I took with me the Sigma 50-100 art lens. Now this lens doesn't have in-body image stabilization, but with the GH6 IBIS, I was able to get some very smooth shots, almost like I was on a tripod. But luckily, you know, the shots came out amazing. So Without the GH6 IBIS, it was just impossible to shoot, you know, at 100mm and get some very stable shots. But like I said, the IBIS on the GH6 just made this handheld experience 10 times better, and that's why I like to shoot with the GH6, is because the IBIS is just on a different level. Since the GH6 has a micro four thirds sensor, this means it's not going to be that good in low light. It has a smaller sensor than, for example, a full frame or an APS-C sensor, but there's actually a solution to this, and that is by adapting it with a speed booster and getting the popular Sigma 18-35 f1.8 lens. This setup will allow you to get an extra stop of light, and overall, the results that you get from this combo is absolutely amazing. The only downside to this is that the Metabones adapter is around $650 and the Sigma 18-35 is around $800, so it's pretty pricey, but overall the results that you are getting from this setup is just absolutely amazing. With the speed booster, you are able to use Canon EF lenses on a micro four thirds mount, which is awesome because if you have previously invested in Canon EF lenses, you can still use them with the GH6. To conclude, the GH6 is an amazing camera that hasn't disappointed me for the past year that I've been using it, but obviously it isn't perfect as well. The battery life isn't that good compared to the GH5 when shooting in 5.7K. You are only getting about an hour of recording, so investing in a few extra batteries is a must. Also, if you care about the autofocus, this camera is definitely not for you because it's simply not that good. It's a bit better than the GH5s, but again, I wouldn't rely on it, especially when shooting video. For me, the bad autofocus doesn't really affect me because I've been shooting manual focus for the past 8 years, but if you fully rely on autofocus when shooting video, then I highly recommend some other cameras like the Lumix G9 Mark II or some other camera that has better autofocus. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to let me know down below in the comments and also give this video a like. Let me know what kind of other videos you guys would like to see. This was by no means a full review of the GH6, but if you guys want to see the full review, let me know down below in the comments and I'll make it. But yeah, thank you for watching and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.